Here's one of my favorite recent dad jokes.
Okay.
How many drummers does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh, goodness.
How many?
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good one. I wish
And
I could
Matt
take
dies a
back
little
those
bit inside. He's like,
minutes.
why did we let this guy in the band?
Pick him out, find a new drummer.
Dan, is there any way to blur out the guy all the way on the right? No, I'm just kidding.
You're listening to the Media Man Dan podcast, your place for music, movies, news, reviews, and interviews. Welcome to the show. Get ready to rock. Let's rock!
Dude, these lyrics are great.
That hit to the core, man. Wow.
They were not kidding. This is a heavy hitter. Woo!
Your words are sticks in a wasteland. Ooh!
We got some slam metal for the outro. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Goodness
gosh.
gracious.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Media Man Dan podcast. Today, I have an incredible band with me, as I always do, but these guys are bringing it in the Christian community. We have Saved by Skarlet with us today, and we're going to talk about all of their music as a whole, including the brand new single that you guys need to check out, Lie of the Pharisees. I already reacted to it. It's probably in the intro for this video. So please tell me if you had a great time in the comments down below. Also, make sure to give the love to this band. All their information will be in the description down below as well. All right, guys. Welcome to my podcast. How you guys doing today? And also, who are you?
Well, I'm Dallin Schrader. I'm the cool new drummer on the block. And I mean, I guess maybe 6-7 months or so, whatever. But yeah,
Awesome.
there, introduction.
Yes, Dallin's been with us for about 6 to 7 months. He's been ripping it ever since. He started as an understudy and then moved into full position. And he recorded with us on the most recent song, Lie of the Pharisees. And Adam recorded, that was our previous drummer. He recorded with us on Black Knight about 8-9 months ago. So that was right before Dallin came in. And both have been doing really well. And we've been practicing a lot in the meantime when we're not in the studio with Eric, who's to my left on here. And he's our new bassist, but he's also versatile. He's doing a little bit of background singing and screaming with me. And he's also been helping out recently with even some stage work, which is awesome.
What's up, guys? Super happy to be part of this project. Really looking forward to playing some shows and writing some music.
Awesome. 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 All right. So we got Dallin, Nate, and Eric, correct?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, besides all of that incredible introduction, which ran so smoothly, I want to know, how long have you guys been making awesome music for Christ?
Ooh, well, this would be an originating question, so I'll take it away. So we've been writing writing music since 2014, a little bit before 2014. So for about 4 to 5 years, we were writing music, and then we actually started getting more professionally focused as of the last 4 years. So we started going through all of our media, participating in bigger festivals, and just doing a lot of the red tape stuff with publishing and social SEO, so search engine optimization and different things, cleaning everything up, and Adam was a part of the writing process. Matt couldn't join us today. He's our lead guitarist, as well as Alex. Alex is the second guitarist. They couldn't make it today, but they've been doing an incredible job as part of the writers as well. And just recently, we started writing with Dallin, and most recently, we've been writing with Eric. So we are super excited for the last 2 songs and an intro that are going to be on the new EP coming out very soon this fall.
Awesome. And so you said that these guys are the 2 newest members to the band. Are they part of the reason that you guys have been going more heavy recently? Because Black Knight and Lie of the Pharisees are absolute bangers, as you guys called it. What you gave me a specific term, and I was like, "Oh, this is why I need to react to this band."
I said heavy hitter is what I've been putting on everything.
Heavy hitter. That's what I'm thinking. Yes. But yeah, so you guys wanted to go in the more metal direction from the very melodic hard rock that I heard on the first album and that first big song that you had?
Yes, definitely. I would say as soon as Dallin came in, we started progressing in a more harder metalcore type area. And before that, we had been, as you said, mostly melodic rock, almost like a mix between modern rock and post-hardcore, because we did have Feel the Enemy and The Syndrome on there, and those were more post-hardcore based. And yeah, we're excited to see where this goes. But the other songs on the album, we can say this: the other songs on the album are not going to be as heavy as that. As sad as that may be for some people, but there will be lots more in the future. Don't you worry.
Well, that's excellent to hear. Hey, it's always good to have a mix of, everything that the audience is expecting. They're going to get probably some beautiful ballads as well as these, very catchy choruses. And some people aren't into the heavier stuff, so they'll probably enjoy most of the album then.
That's the goal.
Perfect.
I like to think of different styles. You make the music you want to make, and kind of not really pick a style, and people are just gonna like it because we like it.
Yes, we do. It's so much fun to play, and we just did a practice last week. And Eric played a full run through with us from top to bottom, and it's sounding so awesome, man. Like, it's nice to finally have like this new album coming out, and we've got our heaviest song down, and now we've got a live bassist, so we've got the full 5-piece band. We don't need to use a backtrack bass anymore, which we did play in the backtrack bass, and then it was pre-recorded, so it's still a person technically. It was just a ghost.
Yeah, I was hearing it on the other interviews. I do my research before I go into an interview, and you guys were talking about having the bass part missing. So I was excited to hear this news right now, but also I want to know, with that bass, are we going to be looking forward to something of a harmonic line? I've been into this band called Phineas, and they do these harmonies that give me chingles down my spine. Chills down my spine. Yes.
Oh, Phineas is amazing. I don't know, Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I like writing unique harmony bass lines, more than just following the root notes. I like being able to express myself through the bass. I feel like that adds a whole new level to the music that I'm playing with.
Awesome. And
yeah, brother.
Have you guys always been active in your faith? And that could go with the new members as well, because they have not spoken on an interview yet, as far as I know.
Oh, absolutely. I can actually say with confidence, since the day I was born, I've been a Christ follower.
Fantastic. And the first time you crawled, it was towards the crucifix, right?
Maybe a duck, but who knows? I'll call my mom and let you know.
All right. How about you guys?
For me, I'm actually a little newer to it. I grew up a little forced into religion by my parents, and at the time, that wasn't the right fit for me. But kind of as I grew older and being able to make my own choices, I went back to it on my own. I even played in my church's teen bands. We'd be playing at masses, playing some music for everyone. And ever since then, I've really just been strengthening my bond. I started wearing my cross again. Got here that my grandparents got me for my communion, and I never really wore it back then. It's like I said, I was a little turned away from religion at the time. But I'm very happy to be getting back into it. It's just such a lovely community, such a great part of my life now.
That's beautiful, man. And yeah, it does take some time to truly appreciate the Lord's gifts that we have in our lives. It's something that I personally grew up with, very involved in the Catholic Church, and I learned a lot about God away from the church. So I was like, okay, I have to learn everything that I can to figure out the true message that I'm supposed to feel from this, as opposed to what's, directly in a building. And I learned a lot more the best way by talking to people. And, what I believe is he is sending vessels out there to give us some like guidance when it comes to anything. And that awareness. How about you, Nico?
Huh?
Sorry, did I say Nico? How about you, Nate? Sorry about that.
I'm like looking behind me like, who's Nico?
Who's Nico?
That's so awesome to hear that, Eric. And Dallin, we're super happy for you as well. With Dallin shared some of his story recently at Chili's with me, which was awesome. But yeah, honestly, man, since I was young, like I just had like a lot of really difficult things that I had to get through. It's so weird almost living this life now with such a different perspective. When I was like growing up and up until the point where I was about 16ish, I had always felt like at a disadvantage and always felt like I was like, honestly, man, like a half of my life, because I'm 27, so about half of my life just really felt like I was at a disadvantage. It felt like I was walking through life with like one leg and hopping around and like really just getting beat up by so much in life. And I don't know what it is, man, but honestly, at one point, I just really came to the end of myself, and there were a lot of tears involved and a lot of pain. But you know what? God met me where I was. I know a lot of people say metaphorically at the foot of the cross, but for me, it was actually with a bunch of people who cared about me, who loved me, and sat by me and gave me tissues for 3 hours as I cried. And not to be dramatic or anything, but like, dude, that literally like that changed my life right there, because like these are the first people in my entire life to actually care about me as a person and not just try to get something from me. And that for me was huge. So I really paid close attention to what they were professing. And there was like a really awesome worship song that was being played by a live band, and it was so powerful, man. Like, it was just undeniable. It really, truly was undeniable. And anyone who doesn't understand, like if they were there in that moment, they would understand 100%. It was unbelievable. And I just honestly gave my life to God and just said, please take the wheel. I'm done trying to make this puzzle piece, jam it into a spot that just barely fits. I'm ready to literally just give you control, and I'm trusting in your direction, God. Take me wherever that is. And that took me to the Christian hard rock and metal community, which is incredible. And they're awesome, such an awesome community. And I will never go back. There's no difference between then and now and how life can be with God. It's just incredible.
Fantastic story, man. And like you were saying, with all the people that were like comforting you in your lowest of times, you had basically nowhere to run, and this was your time. And as you said, this music that was playing around you as well, it's like this is all meant to be. That's what I believe, is that there's no coincidences. I think that this is set for our lives to experience this beautiful miracle, if you will, and share it with everyone. Share your story like you just did, and It's powerful, man. I love that. And first time I could say that I had something close to that. Definitely not in the darkest place of my mind, but I had a lot of stress on my shoulders. Anxiety was overcoming me for the first time ever. Lots of stress from school. They were like telling me like, if you don't pass this test, you can't get into this school that you really want to go to. And I talked to my youth minister because I was set to lead a retreat that night, and I was like, man, I don't think I can do this. It's been so much pressure, and it's hard to get through this day. And he gave me the best words. Like I said, there's always a vessel from God. And he was like, you know what? If you want to come in for an hour, that's all you got to do. If it doesn't feel right, then you're absolutely able to go if you need to. We have people that can take your spot, and we'll miss you, of course, but do what's best for you and your future and everything. And so I showed up there for an hour. By the end of this retreat, I had met a man who I thought was, well, he's a boy. I thought he was going to be like the big tough guy. And he ended up crying on my shoulder and telling me that my story touched him in a way that he had never experienced before. He thought no one would ever understand. Yeah, like the amount of bullying that I had been through. He was like, I thought that nobody else would be in my position, but like the way that you were so open and vulnerable, I was like, man, I would have never had that had I not gone to this meeting, had I listened to the people that truly didn't care about me, didn't care about my true understanding of life, love, and God. So it was something that I will hold on forever. I'll be like, I am never, ever missing out. If God says I need to be somewhere, I'm there. That's just how it goes.
That is awesome. That's so awesome. The timing is everything, like timing is huge.
Absolutely. And it's usually not at the best time. Like 2 a.m. seems to be a time where a lot of people are in their lowest moments. And I stay up with them. I've done that back in 2020. I was talking to a lot of people through hard times, and I would stay up all night long because I was at a hotel doing that. And I was like, I guess this is what I was called to do this year.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you, honestly, that you have that. And yeah, no, I definitely believe that too. And I mean, look at right here, with Saved by Skarlet, we've got Eric, Dallin, Matt, Alex. Each one of us have a story, and like an individual story. No story is alike. We all have such different stories, but man, it's just amazing to see the web of connections and the timing, and just everything is unbelievable. I remember this one time we had literally been really, really feeling stuck. We had a show that we were going to be playing, and we had lost our prior drummer. And we had literally finally just given up and said, you know what? Let's pray about this. Like, I know it's crazy, but like we didn't even think about, we were so busy trying to make ends meet. I'm not kidding. After months and months and months of searching, we literally like got down on our knees and we're like, God, we give this to you. Like, amazing things are happening, like we're really developing as a professional band and growing exponentially. And it just felt like the floor was ripped out beneath us. And then we were like, now what, And it was stressful, man. But dude, literally an hour later, somebody sent us a message on Bandcamp and we found our new drummer. Like, it was unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. That's so powerful. And it's the trials and tribulations. It's those extremely low, almost giving up time that you finally find peace and understanding and the struggle, and you are rewarded for that, because we have to be aware that these things are never going to go the direction we plan. This is God's plan.
Yep, I want to add on that, if I may. I'll interject here, the newbie. Handing it over to God, that's a big thing for me. I may not have had a whole lot of, I guess, input with the writing process of Lie of the Pharisees, but that song hits me personally so hard, because hypocrisy and two-facedness, while I may have been a Christ follower my whole life, I grew up Mormon, which I found out a couple years back. I mean, this is the first time I'm going like massively public about this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. There's a lot of crap. Keep it PG. There's a lot of crap that goes on in that church. A lot of Gnostic beliefs, legalistic beliefs, all that stuff. And like for so long, after I was 18, post high school, for 10 years, I was kind of in limbo of this way, that way, up, down, left, right. And my wife, at the time was not my wife, but quickly became my wife. Literally the reason I am where I am today. But the moment that I decided to essentially, it's not like I decided to pursue my gift of music. I've been a musician for 20 years of my life, and almost 30. And as the concept of like surrendering, people use that term a lot, surrender yourself to God. It's not, I thought it was like, kind of give up and just let God do his thing. It's less than that. It's putting everything, giving everything to God. That doesn't mean giving up. So I was like, I kind of delved into the music world. Like it was a dead end job at the post office. And I was like, this isn't for me. I'm going to pursue music. And then within 2 years, here I am, a music teacher, drummer of an awesome band. And it's literally because I decided to just give myself over to God, not in a roll over and let it happen kind of way, but like, what has God done in my life and how can I use that? And everything just kept coming back to music, and that's why this song in particular is like, I'm sitting here going, I can't stop listening to this song. We had like 22,000 views on the video. Like half of that's me.
11,000 views by Dallin the drummer.
I absolutely, like, it speaks volumes. Like, truthfully, there is no, like, take this with a grain of salt. Following God is a simple thing. Like, yes, there's lots of nuance and all of those things. Like, if you really think about it, follow God. There's no secret password, as the Mormons say, to get into heaven. Like, literally, I could go for hours about the crazy stuff that they do. But like, yeah, there's no handshake to get you into heaven. There's no secret password to get you into heaven, unless you count like professing faith as a secret password. But like, there's no shortcut. I know it's not a direct quote from God, but it's / Jesus, but it's kind of like a culmination thing. I never said it would be easy. I only said it would be worth it. And
I love that.
Like in this day and age, I don't need to go into specifics, but in this day and age, it's pretty tough to follow God right now and profess that.
Yep.
I'm sure we've all had our fair share of encounters from all walks of life. But what makes it quote unquote easy, in my opinion, is that it's the cliche. He's the rock that never changes. That's what makes it easy to follow God. It never changes. It's the same teaching, the same all the time.
Honestly, something that helps too, you're so right down on that. You know what? It's not even surrender, really. It's really saying, you know what? Like, there are things that I don't understand. There's certain things that I can't comprehend. I'm just gonna trust. Like, I'm just gonna trust. Sometimes that's all you can do. Whoa, we're on the wall now.
Yes, you are. I have Matt that just added into our meeting. So welcome, Matt.
Matt, you made it.
Thank you so much. I
Absolutely.
made it, man. Yo, what's up, Eric? What's up, Nate? What's up, Music Man Dan, aka Tiki guy that says it's so heavy.
We loved your reaction video, man. Honestly, the end of your reaction video was priceless when you were like going off. It was cool to see. It was really cool to see some of our fans, the reaction, because this was a really heavy song. And we definitely went the very low tuning, gritty route.
With those slam riffs at the end.
Sorry,
yeah,
guys, I'm late.
Awesome.
I was getting ready for our Kingdom Come Festival show coming up, and we had to troubleshoot a bunch of stuff, but it's all set.
Hey, no worries, but we're going to put you in the hot seat. You have to answer all 4 questions that I've asked so far.
All of them in quick succession.
No
breath.
You have
Take
4
one
seconds. By the way, that festival that's coming up, my friend is going to be there. He interviewed you guys, Brian of Inspiring How You See That. Shout out to Brian, awesome dude. And I watched his interview with you guys as well before this, just so I can make sure that I don't sound like a broken record when I'm asking questions.
Shout out to Brian. Yes, Kingdom Come Festival is going to be awesome, and we're going to be bringing our Five Geysers and everything, man. We're ready to go off.
Perfect.
Take it seriously.
That's right, Dallin.
Let's see, Matt. The easiest question I'm going to give you is, how long have you been making music for Christ?
Oh man, I've been making music for Christ since I was about 15 years old. So I'd say was that like 12 years?
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride, man. It's been such a pleasure. I really wish I was able to join this a little bit sooner, but I came as soon as I can.
Hey, there's no rush, man. It's all good.
We forgive you.
Yes, you've been forgiven, but you missed a little bit of Dallin's story. We had a wonderful, eye-opening story about faith in God, and I love that. I love that he was talking about having that true faith and going through life, and without understanding what your meaning is, it's without God, of course. I mean, when you have God enter into your existence, when you finally are aware of his presence, you are going to do the right thing, even if it feels weird, even if it's awkward. The first time I ever talked to somebody about like a true faithful experience, like it was so hard. It was challenging to say the least, because it's like, I don't want to offend, I don't want to push this on anyone. But then I started seeing, as I got older, I'm 29, that a lot of people come up to you in your daily life and randomly tell you things. There was someone who told me that my name Daniel means God is my judge. This was at a grocery store. I was like, why is this happening? I was like, oh, there's got to be a sign of this. This has to mean something. So it was fascinating to me, and I started following breadcrumbs, and eventually found the answer. And that was that God had been helping me understand what a leader is. And I was talking to them before about leading retreats and stuff like that when I was in high school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. I won't change it for anything. But I was also telling them that the religion I was part of, Catholicism, didn't really work for me in the building. I had to be out there doing God's work outside of the church as well. So I took it and ran with it, and I try to help as many people as I can whenever I see needing. Like,
That's awesome, man.
That is
Perfect.
awesome, man. Well, it's such a pleasure to meet you, man, in person. I love your reaction videos, and Dallin's story is incredible. I literally love it, man. God has done such a work through him, and it was awesome because pretty much the whole band at that point in time was there to be able to see him get baptized. So that was really cool as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mormon baptisms don't count, believe it or not.
Well, of course. I mean, there's
long story short, it's because they make it like a thing that you have to do in order to get into heaven. So when I officially walked away from the church, I literally had to send in a handwritten letter saying, remove me from the church. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories from other churches as well. One of my favorite YouTubers, the reason I'm on YouTube is because Chris Stuckman, and he left the Jehovah's Witnesses. He says a lot of similar things about that religion. So it's good though that you found Christ, that you've had an eye-opening experience, you've had your heart open, you have your ears open, and you're with the right people that truly support you, that truly love you in the way that God had planned. And you guys are going to make incredible music. And speaking of music, let's get back on topic. When you've expressed your beliefs to your fans, have you always felt a sense of God's presence, even though some may not believe?
The short answer is yes. The long answer is, oh my gosh. There have been times where we have straight up played at, quite frankly, I know that this is a little bit of a controversial topic, but we have played at bars before where it's mainly prioritized for music, but there happens to be a bar there. And we will straight up be playing our song Surrender All and we will have our arms raised with no cares in the world about what others think of us, other than the fact that we hope that they see authenticity and just feeling God's presence in the midst of such darkness, like even in the depths of providence, is such an awesome thing, because you wouldn't think that you could be a light in a place like that, or that you could even feel God's presence. But dude, I just get chills, man. Every time we play Surrender All and it goes into the bridge, and it's like, how do I feel moved by the Spirit in such a dark atmosphere? Well, I think the short answer is that we carry a small glimmer of light inside each and every one of us. The heart of God, I believe, is kind of distributed among all of us after Jesus died on the cross. And that's why he kept saying, I will be back. I'm dying for a greater purpose, so that we have life inside of us. And I just feel that life come alive when I'm on stage. And I know that the others feel very similarly. So that is the long answer to your question, because even when we have, unbelievers who may come up to us after the show and say, hey, listen, like, I don't really agree with your message, but I felt something powerful. That is such an awesome testimony to me, because it's like they had an experience. And that is really what we're looking for as a band, to give people an encounter with God, for them to have an experience, as opposed to just hearing another set of rap words that say the B word and other crazy crap on the radio.
Yeah, no, and the powerful thing is that it's the creation that you, of course, had assisted by God. Like, this was a message that was meant for that person, and the way that you guys were the vessel to give that message to that person is an incredible thing. And I'm so happy that you have that awareness of it, because some bands will see this as just another fan and just another, oh yeah, we know, we've been touched by Christ as well. But the fact that you guys are so deep about this satisfaction and this understanding is beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, it's an honor. It's truly an honor to be used by him. I'm telling you, man. I know you know this, but I guess it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway for our listeners. Everyone is written in the Lamb's book of life. God has given us the upper hand. He gave us a head start, but it's up to us and our decisions whether we want to reject the gift or whether we want to accept it. And we want people to know that they're loved, and we want people to know that we love them, because they are people and God made people. And so, we think that it's really an honor and a gift to be able to have a platform, to be able to talk about him, to be able to point to him with our actions and our words, and have those two things lined up. I think when we line those two things up, that is when people start to see authenticity, when the actions line up with what we're speaking about. And that is our goal. And we're going to keep trying to make Jesus famous as long as we can.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Also, my question, it's going to go right into it, actually. One of my favorite one of my favorite verses in the Bible is paraphrased in a song that we would sing at church. And it was, "Be not afraid, for I have loved you always. Come follow me, and I will give you rest." This is my motto that has been given to me multiple times in my life. So anytime that I hear, like you said, that dark situation, that dark room, you're like, there's no possible way that people are going to feel Christ's light in here. But it's true, because if you're not afraid, you're going to give that gift of God to those people. As long as you get away from that sensibility of this is the dark room. So there's no light in here. Yeah, but we have the tongues of fire. We have the way. My favorite story still is the Jonah and the whale. The way that we have been able to escape that amount of pressure on ourselves to tell ourselves that it's the right thing to do, as opposed to the thing that feels comfortable. And that is probably one of the most important things. Yeah, and when it comes to speaking to people, through yourself, through God, through you, it's a beautiful thing.
Dude, you got a lot of wisdom, man. I could listen to you all day. Let's go. Wish I didn't have to just tune in just now, but so I could have heard more. But no, that's an awesome word, man. I really appreciate you saying that, actually. Really speaks to me.
Do I switch to my computer? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're crystal clear now.
I made it home.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you got a better mic than
Alright.
me.
Oh yeah, invested in
Perfect.
that the XLR Shure stuff.
Ooh,
Oh,
full
yes.
American.
Dude, I love the Shure mics. The Shure mics are just unbelievable. Like you can throw them on the ground, you can stomp on them, they will not die. They
If
will
my
not.
sounds and effects professor is listening right now, that is not a thing that you do to a microphone. We all know that. No, but you're
Oh,
correct. The
at our last
durability
show,
is
remember
amazing.
at Tefeta, Dallin?
Oh yeah,
Remember the guy, he just took his mic and just threw it on the ground so hard. We were all like, oh.
some people are nuts.
Oh, dude, that was one crazy hippie, man. I'll tell you.
That was funny. Honestly, Media Man Dan, I wanted to add something. You know that like I mean I like sharing this because honestly I'm proud of it. Like we worked hard for this. Um, what I was gonna say is one of the things that like really shocks people is like for about 5 6 years we'd perform at like these venues and with bands that were not Christian obviously, and we would basically just show them like, hey, you can rock really hard and you can perform and do all of this stuff, um and you can still do all of that and really impress people in the world. And like there were there were like tons of people that would come and like they didn't even realize right away that we were even Christian, and then they'd find out and be like stunned. And it's just really cool to be a faith-based band and still performing alongside some of these names. All That Remains, Memphis May Fire Now, Norma Jean. Like dude, it's crazy, man. Like, and we've got a lot more coming, more than that. But it's something that's really stood out, and it's something that's actually given, like, I feel like at least in this area, it's given the Christian rock and metal scene a little bit of a boost, if you ask me. Because I mean, dude, like it's very far and few in between over this way. When you see, bands actually like being able to cut it over here. The Northeast is really rough with that stuff. Um, and that's a well-known fact. That's not conjecture. That's a fact. So it's really cool. Like I really feel like we're helping pioneer over here.
Fantastic. And yeah, with the lineups you're talking about, Memphis May Fire, All That Remains. I would love to see you guys tour with Theocracy. I think that would be an awesome lineup, and you
Oh,
get
that would be
nothing but
sick.
faith-based. Yeah.
It still weirds me out that I'm going to be performing at the same festival as All That Remains. They were the first band that got me into heavy metal.
Oh, what
This
song?
Calling, hands down, one of the greatest songs ever made.
I literally, I didn't even have to ask you the question. You were like, "This is it. This Calling." I was like,
I
"Perfect.
heard
All
that
right."
song and I'm like, this is my calling.
2 weeks for me. That was mine.
That's
After
another good one. That's another good one for sure.
yeah,
You're
after
like,
one of the softer songs.
I'm playing in a festival with this group. I've been listening to them for 10, 15 years. And now I get to perform alongside them. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
It's the message that you need to send to whatever crowd you guys are going to encounter. And you're supposed to be there. That's supposed to happen. And as awesome as fanboy as it could be, maybe that band will look at you guys and your presentation and the way that you guys come off as so honest. I mean, I already know All That Remains lead vocalist is very honest about his beliefs, but you guys will be able to touch the audience that you wouldn't usually expect, and that's going to be powerful and awesome. And maybe they'll be like, hey, let's go on a full countrywide tour with you guys.
I would say yes to that.
There you
Yep.
go.
Oh,
Touring with All That
yes.
Remains, dude.
Dude, they are amazing. Absolutely amazing band.
One of the best. I was talking about melodic and harmonic riffs earlier as well, about Phineas and stuff like that. I could say that All That Remains, played heavily into a lot of that harmonic influence when it comes to
Oh.
guitar riffs. And yeah,
That's why I fell in love with them. It didn't seem just like my interpretation of heavy metal was kind of like the black metal stuff where it's just nonstop. It's like I heard all the remains. I'm like, they're actually doing stuff that sounds cool to listen to. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed to show my mom this.
exactly. Yeah, you can show your parents, and they won't get offended. In a couple of seconds, they will. But then it comes back to the nice chorus. And it's powerful. It's powerful. Music is a powerful thing, and I'll say that like one of my favorite songs by Theocracy. I'll once again give a shout out to that band because they're incredible. Is called "The Gift of Music," and it talks about how God literally gave us the gift of music in order to give it back to Him. So as long as you are putting it in the right way, I think that you're going to be rewarded at the end of the day.
Matt, isn't it you that was telling me that like it is the ultimate offense against the enemy is being able to be musical, like it's one of God's greatest gifts or something, and like he hates music and when people are praising God through music and things like that. That was you, right?
Yeah, we were talking about biblical theology, and my brother and we've delved pretty deep into biblical doctrine and theology through some courses and trainings and stuff that were pretty extensive. And one of the things that was mentioned is this: it's not even really an idea. I mean, it's really take it as you will, but we're pretty sure that biblical text supports the idea that Satan was the lead worship leader, archangel type of angel in heaven. Because the Bible's very explicit in mentioning that he was of some sort of archangel status, which was like the highest tier, the highest level closest to God. And the Bible actually says he was the most beautiful angel in all of heaven. Mm-hmm. And as some of us know, heaven is a massive, massive place. It is not small. And so anyway, so Dallin and I were talking about music, and I was just like, like, have you ever thought that like when we make music for God, like it is almost like the ultimate offense because Satan was kicked out of heaven and he was like the lead worship leader practically.
Oh yeah.
And now we're doing what he was meant to do. It's just like, wow. Like when you really wrap your brain around that, which also explains why there's such a satanic attack against the horrible worldly saturated music on the radio. Like if you listen to even some of Taylor Swift's songs and just look at the lyrics, it's like, oh my God, it's actually really sad, dude. Like I recently had on like Kiss 108 or something, and I was listening to some of the stuff. I was like, oh, cool beat. Looked up the lyrics, I was mortified.
Yeah, like you said, people of this world are definitely not going to follow in the ways of the Lord. And knowing that Satan, Lucifer, was such a powerful angel and had that title as he was basically God's musician, but they're going to be using that awful, satanic gift that they get. And the best way to counter that, like you guys said, is to profess God in all of you do. I mean, literally, it is probably the most offensive thing, because think about how passionate you are about music. Think about the man or the being that was so insanely obsessed with music that was kicked out of the kingdom of heaven, and here you are taking that exact sound that like he created, I guess you could say, and using it for the Lord. And you're going to go through so much judgment because people don't want you to follow in God's way. This is a distraction, as I talked to Isaiah on my other podcast. It's all distractions that get in our way in order to make us disbelieve that God is still there to help us, especially in our lowest of times. We had done this thing called the Everything Skit for one of the retreats. It's a Lifehouse video. You guys can find it. It's on stage of this live interpretive dance of like how Jesus is constantly around you, even when you have.
That is amazing, dude. That song is so powerful, bro. Like seriously, it's so awesome. Everybody in here, if you guys haven't heard Everything by Lifehouse, definitely take a listen to it. It's like no other. It really is.
Yes, and watch that video. It is so good. I don't know who came up with the choreography, but I mean, I get chills. I teared up the first time I watched it. But we had to
Yeah.
reenact it for the retreat. We did that for our discovery retreat all the time. And spoiler alert for anybody that's in the Catholic Church, I don't know if if you are still, but yeah, that's something that is very common, and it just shows in a physical format of like how powerful God is and how many things are going to distract you and how much sin will come into your life and just expose you and break you down and destroy everything that you are. But you're not alone at the end of the day. You're still around with God, with Christ, and you're able to prevail through it. And it's something I tell a lot of people that are survivors that have talked to me through hard times. I always try to tell them, I'm like, think about this. You have a better story than me. You've been through so much more than me. Think about who you're going to help next. Think about the little things that I said to help you. You're going to boost somebody even further because you're going to be in that state of empathy where you've been there. You can understand them. You can help them through whatever that is. And you can give them more salvation than I could ever give you. So it's a powerful thing. Just keep passing it on. It's beautiful.
It's awesome.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
That's the word, man.
If you could tour anywhere in the world, where would
Idaho.
it be? Idaho.
I have to go back to my
No.
homeland. I have made it a promise to come back and just reap a storm. Be like, funny story. I just recently got this tattoo. Right, it says "Prove them wrong."
Mhm.
Not only am I proving all the negative thoughts in my head, whether depression, anxiety, whatever you want to call it, I'm also proving everybody else wrong that told me I couldn't do it. And if I could go back to Idaho, a little smugly, yes, maybe it might not be the best thing, but I kind of just want to just dig it in and be like, look, I made it.
Oh,
Yep. I would definitely tone it down with the ego, but you're absolutely in the right way there, man.
he's already got the tattoo. We lost him. Dallin's gone, guys.
I was
He's
gonna bring
gone.
that up. I was gonna be like, wait a second. The temple of God has been stained by the earth. No, what do you
Oh,
think of
no.
that?
Hey,
Do you think?
I love tattoos, man. I love
Okay,
that.
all right, cool. Because yeah, my opinion is that I'm afraid of needles. That's all I got. I can't.
let me put it this way. You should be less afraid of
we go.
needles and more afraid of cat scratches. It literally felt like I was being kneaded by a cat for 2
It really
hours.
did. It didn't even hurt, man.
And
Right,
here's Matt says it doesn't even hurt.
Yeah,
I've
he's
heard
It's just scratches. It's
stronger
scratch.
man than me.
It's not like injections. It's more like a scratch. That's why he used the analogy of a cat.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's
Hey, Dan,
not,
actually, could we direct that question to Eric? Because I
yes,
know
of course.
Eric is,
Oh yeah,
Eric
he
is
hasn't talked much. Eric, your
into the
turn.
music.
Yeah, I've just been kind of quietly observing. I'm pretty new to the band, so I haven't actually played a show with you guys yet. I haven't had the experience or opportunity to express my faith or my beliefs to people live. But I'm super excited to do that soon. So yeah, to answer your question of where would I go, I would say anywhere in Europe. One of my favorite bands is actually from Europe, the Scorpions. They're older '80s or formed in the '60s, but kind of hair metal band.
Rock you
So
like a
being able
hurricane.
Yep, good stuff. So, they grew up there. That's a really, really cool music scene out there, and just being able to travel. It's so beautiful out in Europe. I've never had the opportunity to go, but I would just love to play shows and travel to like killing two birds with one stone right there.
Perfect. That's an excellent answer too, because like your specific destination, mine would be like somewhere in Scandinavia because I love Scandinavian metal. I wouldn't be like exactly where Scorpions, grew up, came from, all of that inspiration. But that's so powerful. So what country is that?
They came from Germany, specifically. I might butcher the pronunciation. Hanover or like Hanover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Germany. You said that earlier. My bad. But that's awesome.
Also, Dan, you're frozen. Your picture, at least for me, I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone else, but your picture is not moving.
I'm always smiling, so it doesn't bother me. I
Yep.
knew this was gonna happen. My camera just completely disconnects, and then this is it.
All good. Just wanted to let you know in case it was like something on my end or something.
That means we need to stop the interview, restart it, and start back at the beginning and
Yep.
get a
Back to square
perfect
one.
take.
Yes, of course. Yeah. That's
Once
totally
I get
gonna
to
happen.
talk about throwing the Sure mic on the ground again, I'm all for it.
Thanks again for watching, guys. It seems that we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so one by one, each person was taken away and either sent to bed or some other thing that God had planned for them. So what can we do? There's no, it's not controllable, and it was super fun regardless. Everything that is available to be seen, you guys will be able to see. And if there's anything that I need to bring up again or need to redo, I will do it with one-on-one interviews with each member as time goes by. Thanks again for watching. All of the information is in the description down below for Saved by Skarlet. And as always, have an awesome day and stay safe out there. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Media Man Dan podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, have an awesome day, and stay safe out there. Peace.